These housing laws in Florida have made one thing very clear. This state is all in with investors, builders, and property owners. And while other states are choking developers with tons of red tape, Florida is putting fuel in the tank and saying, let's keep building. These are the key kind of laws that are making investors drool, and tenants, well, they're not too happy about it. Let me break them down for you. Number one, absolute tax advantages for out-of-state investors. I was one of those people that came from California. I was paying 9.9% state income tax. Today, here in Florida, 0%. For Californians today, you're paying 13.4% state income tax. Again, Florida, nothing, 0 today. This is one of the great things about Florida, along with being 1031 exchange friendly and the new bonus depreciation that's just come back with Trump's big, beautiful bill is here to stay. All these things basically say, why are you not investing in Florida? You're getting the tax breaks, you're getting the tax incentives. You might as well put your money here. Number two, HOA rental reform. What that means is that HOAs and local governments have been restricted on really taking control of your property rights. That means that nosy neighbor or that really overbearing HOA association, not really allowed here in Florida anymore, they're not going to be able to prevent you from scaling your property efforts, and you're able to take control back of your property. Some states, it seems like you'll never own your property. That HOA association will. Here in Florida, they're put in check. You're in control of your own property. They can't stop you from scaling. Number three, property insurance reforms, finally. Now, the state is no longer saying there's no mess, nothing to see here. They're admitting to it and they're trying to clean it up. So they are making steps for reform in property insurance issues that have occurred here in Florida. Now, an important thing to understand is a lot of these problems came from older homes that were built to different structure heights, meaning that the land was on low-lying land and different structural designs. In 2004, all the rules here changed. So for newer construction 2004, there's actually incentives by insurance companies to get cheaper insurance because they're less of a risk. They're built on higher ground with stronger structural design. But even the older homes now close to the beach that have more hurricane-prone issues, these are the ones that finally the government is stepping in and finding new insurance incentives, new carriers to come in. They're fixing the problem with those properties, which will outlay to the rest of the market and get insurance overall more stabilized and more affordable. Number four, affordable and effective evictions. Now, we already talked about squatters' rights and the fact that they have no rights in Florida, but what about if you have to evict a tenant? Here in Florida, the average of only a few $100s in 40 days to get a tenant out keeps your property clean from people that don't want to pay and want to ruin your property, and they know that they can't sit around for several months like they would in other states that allow such things, that it's either pay or it's time to move on. So evictions here, affordable, effective, and are rarely even having to be used because tenants know it's either pay or leave. Number five, state funding for workforce housing, but only for developers and builders who are willing to play ball. Now, what this means is the country is in need of affordable housing, especially here in Florida. Florida municipalities, local governments are saying, we will help you build and help you get these projects done as long as you're going to key areas and key demographics. Again, workforce housing, affordability is absolutely key. A lot of bigger builders and developers don't want to work in that realm, but those who want to are being offered incentives to go into these areas and make these homes available, which is absolutely key for what we need here for the landlords. Number six, ban on ESG restrictions on lending and development. Here in Florida, they've said basically no to the woke checklist, and they've said let's focus on the dollars in dirt and real estate. So no more allowance of ESG regulations to put restrictions on lending and development. Number seven, streamlined permitting for BTR projects. I mean, when you're in California, it might take 18 months to get a simple fence approved. Here in Florida, they're saying we need the housing, especially affordable workforce housing. Let's go vertical as soon as we can. So by being able to fast track these permitting processes, important developments that are needed in key areas where the population is still growing and we're needing that more affordable housing, you're able to get that done without a lot of red tape and get the shovel in the ground months and months and months before other states would allow you to. Number eight, fast track evictions for squatters. Now, here in Florida, it's the first state in America that has the anti-squatter law signed into effect last year, and that means you break in, you're out, period, end of story. There's no long, lengthy court battles, legal fees, paying thousands of dollars to have someone who was not even invited into your property to get out. That's in places like California and New York, not here in Florida. If you are not supposed to be there, the anti-squatter law says you're out within 72 hours, period, end of story. Great protection for landlords. Number 9, no more rent control zones. Florida has banned municipalities from putting rent controls on your properties. HB 1417. This is a huge victory for landlords. Basically, what Florida is saying is, sorry, no more tenant activism here. We're looking out for the landlords. If you want to try that, move on to another state. And I'll be breaking down every law that affects you right here. So hit subscribe and let's see what's coming next.